I'm trying this out. Can y'all hear me? It's my first time I've done one of these. Hey, John. Can you hear me, John? Awesome. We'll give it a second. See if anybody else comes on. That didn't work. That's better. Can't have the light glaring off my head, guys. John, are you listening to a radio show or are you actually doing a radio show? Awesome. I used to want to do that. I used to want to be a DJ when I was a kid. I thought it was really cool. I thought it'd be really cool to talk on air. And I always want to be a sportscaster. So instead, I guess for my midlife crisis, I decided to do a YouTube channel. Oh, man. What kind of music, John? Cool. I'm a rock guy myself, but I like a little bit of country too. I like a little bit of everything, really, except classic or blues. John, it's just me and you right now, man. What are you thinking about WVU's chances against Oklahoma on Saturday? You feeling good about it or no? $17. Buddy of mine told me that Vegas had it at 15.5. I think that's a pretty reasonable spread, to be honest. This is the most beatable Oklahoma has been since Neil Brown came to West Virginia. I feel pretty good about it, to be honest. Just kind of hanging out a minute, John. See if anybody else gets on here. What have you had a chance to look at the top 25 rankings? It came out yesterday. What did you think? I know you may not have them in front of you, so you probably may not know who's where at the moment, but I'm looking at it right here. I still think Notre Dame's way too high. And I'll be honest, I think Clemson's too high. They've been playing like garbage. I agree. Big 12's getting some respect. Kansas State's in. Obviously, Oklahoma's in. Oklahoma State's still not in. At least not in this one. But not in the AP. They might be in the coaches poll. You think beating Boise State on the blue turf would have gotten them in? I don't see how North Carolina's still in. After Virginia Tech beating them, and then us beating Tech, doesn't make any sense. I agree. Baylor looks good. Can't sleep on them. Some BYU fans were talking about how they might go undefeated this year. I said, y'all, you can't sleep on Baylor now. They have to play Baylor in a few weeks. I didn't announce this live stream ahead of time, John, because I didn't know for sure if I was going to have time to do it. So it may just be you and me, buddy, which is cool. I just want to mainly see how to do it. I've never done it before. I agree. I'm going to be out of town with my daughter playing basketball in a tournament, but we're only going to be about a couple hours away. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm hoping we get back in time to watch it. If not, I'll have to DVR it and just watch it later. Just get a late start watching it, basically. Either way, I'm watching it. I'm not missing this one. I appreciate that, buddy. Somebody else on? Who's on? Ammonia. Welcome on, Ammonia. Appreciate you coming on. This is my first one of these. I've never done one before, so bear with me if the quality's terrible. Having to do it from my laptop. Because until you get to 1,000 subscribers, you can't do one from a mobile phone. But that's all good. Same here. So Ammonia, what do you think about Ammonia, did you get a chance to Look at the new AP Top 25 poll that came out. Well, basically, only major changes were Oklahoma went from Oklahoma and Oregon swapped 3 and 4. Oregon's at 3, Oklahoma's at 4. Penn State moved up to 6 after their win over Auburn. Auburn's still in at 23. UCLA dropped to 24th after their loss. Kansas State got in at 25, which I'm proud of that, being a Big 12 school. Michigan's up to 19. Michigan State 20. Tech's out. Tech is out. But surprisingly, they got more votes than we did. They're just barely out of the top 25. West Virginia gets no respect nationally. I agree, John. John, do you listen to Ramon? You all listen to or what is his name? Yeah, Mark Rogers, I think's his name. The voice of college football. He puts his own. He put one out. He calls it the poll that makes sense, and it is completely different than. I agree, Ammonia. I'd love for us to get in. I'm happy with what the Big 12's done. If that's where we stay, I'm happy with that. It'll be some interesting games, but if we can get in the ACC, I'd like to see us get in because I think it's going to be more stable long term, and I think that, selfishly, I'd love to see those old rivals again with Virginia Tech and Pitt. I'd love to play those games every year, man. I miss them, and this one on Saturday, I was so emotional for that game, man. Ammonia, what do you think about our chances to beat Oklahoma? I don't mind being in the Big 12 as long as it stays stable. I don't like the travel aspect. It's an unfair advantage for us when it comes to basketball and other sports. It doesn't bother us as much in football because you only play once a week. But Bob Huggins has said many times that sometimes when they travel out to Kansas or Texas, they don't get home if they play a 9 o'clock game. They don't get home till 4 or 5 a.m. and then they got class at 8 o'clock. So it's not fair to our players. But as far as the competition on the field, I don't mind it, but I'd rather be in the ACC. Big 12 is better than the American or the Conference USA. I agree. West Virginia can beat them. Absolutely, they can. I was saying earlier I think before you came on, Money, that this is the most beatable Oklahoma team that we've played since Neil Brown. Of course, we've only played them once, I guess, since he's been here because we didn't play him last year. But they're definitely beatable. But now our offense is going to have to take better care of the ball than they have been. We got to stop turning it over and committing stupid penalties. I think that Georgia's only challenge to win in the East is Florida. I think Florida could give them a fit, but if they can get past Florida, I think they got it. Yes, we do, John. Especially Winston Wright. That guy can fly. I'll never say he's like Tavon because I don't think I'll ever be another Tavon, but man, he's a close second. Y'all may hear my dog in the background. I apologize if you do. Oh, it is. Absolutely, it is. Georgia might have the best defense in college football. They may. I'll tell you what. This might be the year they beat Alabama. It really might. They looked awesome defensively. Hey, Brandon, thanks for joining us, man. Just I was telling Brandon, or I was telling John and Ammonia, this is the first time I've done one of these. So I'm basically just kind of testing the water, see how it works, and we can talk a little football in the meantime. Yeah, it'll be tough to Georgia. I tell you what, man, Georgia's hard to score on, man. I don't know. I mean, obviously Clemson's not doesn't look great, but to hold Clemson to 3 points, I mean that's pretty impressive. Brandon, what do you think about the top 25 that came out yesterday? Any surprises? Anything that you didn't like? Ammonia, you and me both. I ain't gonna lie, I'd love for West Virginia to get an SEC. I think we fit culturally with them. I think we fit because our fans are so passionate about football, just like they are. It'd be tough to compete at first, but I think if we were there a few years and got our recruiting up to par, I think we could compete. I mean, I think we can. Obviously, we could beat Vanderbilt now. Tennessee could compete with Kentucky, maybe Mississippi State. We can compete with some of the SEC today. But if we wanted to be, I don't know that we'd ever be a top tier SEC team, but heck, we haven't been a top tier Big 12 team either. So if I'm going to be a mid tier team, I'd rather do it in the SEC. It would be different and really cool. You Oklahoma, Texas, and the SEC. I don't blame them for doing it. I mean, if the SEC came knocking on the door, I don't know that there's any team in the country that wouldn't take the offer. Uh, I know that they approached the SEC first. I get that, but I mean, if the opportunity's there, why not take it? It's no different than somebody. To me, I look at it like a career or a job. If you're at a career or job and you know that it's not stable, and you see a better opportunity, that go take it. I mean, I don't blame them for doing it. I don't like the way it was done and kind of behind the scenes and like in the dark of night. I don't like the way it was done, but I have no issue with them doing it. I agree, Brandon. I think that's what it was. I think it was the way we won the game. Had we been able to keep our foot on the gas and beat them and not let them back in it, I think we would have been ranked. I know, John. I heard about that, man. Man, we were that close to getting in, but that St. Louis market is was more attractive to them. Which and I understand it. That's the one thing that holds West Virginia back. We're just such a small state. I hear that a lot, Ammonia, from SEC fans. Missouri's doesn't seem to be a good fit there. Kind of like Nebraska in the Big Ten. It's just not a good fit. John, I don't know if you've heard this stat, but since Neil Brown's been at West Virginia's only averaging about 9 points in the second half. For whatever reason, man, they take their foot off the gas in the second half or something. I don't know what's going on, but that's going to have to change. And if you want to beat teams like Oklahoma and Iowa State, even this year, Kansas State and Baylor, you better score in the second half. Yeah, Brandon, I haven't been following NC State. Are they good? I mean, I know they're good, obviously, if you're picking them to win, but who have they beaten? Yeah, they were fearless, John. Well, your opinion matters to me, Ammonia. That's why we're here. Just to talk college football. Everybody's opinion matters, even if I don't agree with it. Those are the funnest teams to watch, John. They could take it to the house every time the ball snapped, man. Reliving the glory days. I remember several years ago I had the 2006 Orange Bowl. Sugar Bowl where they beat Georgia. Sorry, Ammonia. I think you're a Georgia fan, but man, that was a great game too. We wouldn't beat Georgia like that today. I guarantee it. Not the teams that we're putting on the field now. I might put that Pat White team up against them because I think they can score on anybody. I know. Did you see? Hey, did y'all see the John and Money? You might be interested in watching this too if you're a college football fan. Watch the highlights from Nico Marchio's. Nico Marchio is a 4-star recruit. Among you, if you're not, I don't know how close you follow West Virginia, but he's a 4-star quarterback we have coming next year. And he played a high school game against Bishop Gorman on ESPN the other night. They were down 24-7 with a minute 11 to go in the game, and he brought them back to win. Awesome highlights. If you get a chance to go on ESPN and check it out. I hear you. Moni, did you see the interview I did with the Alabama fan the other night? Nico Marchio is from Arizona, actually. Yeah, John, I think you're right. We play Pitt and Virginia Tech both next year, man. That'll be cool, won't it? Yeah, Money, if you want to. I know you hate Alabama, but he and I kind of chatted about he thinks West Virginia's got a chance with Neil Brown to eventually become a top tier program like Clemson and Alabama. He's not saying we'll win as many national championships as Alabama, but he thinks we can be up there with them with the right coach and the right player combination. And he thinks Neil Brown might be that guy. Yeah, Brandon, he was. He threw up on the ball actually after the. I don't know if it was during the play or after the play. He threw up on the ball. Sorry, you don't have to watch it then, Ammonia. He's actually a really nice guy, but he is an Alabama fan. But he just loves college football, likes to talk college football. But he's the type of guy that'll give respect where it's due, I think. I'm sure he hates Auburn as much as you do, maybe more, but yeah, he's pre-Saban. He's lived there his whole life. So he's definitely pre-Saban. What y'all think about BYU? Aren't they an interesting story? That's cool, John. Yes, it's amazing how many of the great coaches in college football have a connection to West Virginia. Saban, Jimbo, Obviously, Rich Rod. You had Lou Holtz. And I'm sure there's more I'm just not thinking of off the top of my head. How about BYU? Anybody got an opinion on that? Or did I miss it? My eyesight's terrible. I got to sit right beside front of the screen to see. Big 12 could have added. They did add them. Ammonia, or is that a mistype? They're coming. Supposed to come in 2023. Is my understanding. They're great. I watched them play Arizona State. Man, they play solid fundamental football. No worries. No worries. I just want to make sure we were on the same page. But yeah, it's I watched most of that, or a big part of that Arizona State game, because if you remember, I predicted to BYU'd win that game, and I was right. Oh man, I got to plug my laptop's going dead on me.